What's up, guys? It's Sean Crew with Team Dudassin here, bringing to you another video. This time around, I got a super fun one for you guys. We recently just went to the Dallas Regional, the first in-person regional here in North America, and it was an absolute blast. The Doo-Doos absolutely kicked ass. With one standout, I'd say. I mean, everyone did well, but the we had the star of the show for the regional. Really, other than the winner, we have Mr. Sakib Hossain here, who really popped off with such an unorthodox deck. Sakib, what did you play in this past regional?
You know what? I don't know either. When we picked it up, we looked at each other, we laughed a bit. It was a great time to be a hero, actually.
Yes,
So
yes, absolutely. So Sakib played Heroes. He was undefeated all the way until round 8. Me and him were the only undefeateds. And then, well, technically he was undefeated going into the ninth round, and then it was him versus Huang in the finals. Ultimately,
oh,
Huang took it. So
yeah.
good on him. Congrats for the win. But it was a crazy, crazy accomplishment here for Sakib. I thought it was personally, I thought it was insane because he picked up the deck literally the night before and was just like, "Hey, this is kind of fun. I think I'm gonna play this. I have my invite. I'm gonna have some fun." And in true Sakib fashion, he just popped off like crazy out of nowhere. And a lot of people were asking him for his list at the regional. So here I am making a video with the gracious Sakib here, showing off what he's got for us. Although I don't even know if he knows what he's got going on. All right, so all
Let's get a
right,
little bit of a rundown before about like my tournament
sure,
run.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. You want to talk about it?
yeah, it was weird. So like you said, night before, I only played like 3 games with that deck actually the night before. I barely even played. I just looked at every single card. I was like, I'm gonna have some fun with this today and
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah, I
I didn't
know.
expect myself to go that far. Let's make things clear. But I'm pretty happy with my results nonetheless. I did not believe in the deck beforehand, but I think it's a lot harder of a deck than people might realize when looking at it because of how many different archetype synergies there are on it. That you need to keep up with what archetype does what thing, and I think the deck is good for a lot more difficult use of play than you might consider. Uh, I played all 9 rounds, of course. I think all my rounds were very diverse, except for the fact I played against 2 Sakuya. Of course, one of the Sakuyas was on stream that you saw in round 7.
Mm.
Hazy was a great opponent. I love playing against him. Kudos to you. And Huang, of course. Great meeting you. And we were having a lot of fun, even though I got 2-0'd. It was probably one of the most fun times I had on a final. um, Everything else was I think round 1 was against Hunters, round 2 was against Galactic, round 3 was against round 3 I forgot round 3. Round 3 was Sakuya actually. Round 4 was Gallant, round 5 was Magna Armor, Digishon, round 6 was Galaxy, uh, round 7 was against Sakuya again, Hazy himself. Round 8 was against Sean. Hi, Sean.
Yeah.
Uh, and then round 9 was against, of course, Huang at the end. Overall record was 7-1-1. Was one win, one loss, and one draw.
Mm. Nice. Yeah. So definitely a great performance. Very proud of you. I am very shocked at how well you popped off, but also not shocked at all. So, you ready to get to the deck profile?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I think everybody is actually waiting very heavily about what Tech is doing actually because
Yeah.
we don't know, and we're gonna figure this out together.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. All right. Let's get to it.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. So normally we have like a physical card review, but Sakib wasn't even using his own deck. So he was,
Thanks to Dwight. Thank you,
shout out
Dwight,
to
so much.
regional champion Dwight Lee for giving Sakib the sauce on this one. But
I don't think he gave me sauce. I think he just said like, have fun with it," and he was like,
yeah,
"You know what?
yeah, for
I will
sure.
have fun with it," and I'll look at him.
All right, so we're doing this one on DigimonCard.dev, so hope you guys don't mind. It's an easier view anyway, but you want to go ahead and get us started off with the eggs here.
Yeah, no, I mean this is unironically the only egg you can run in this deck.
Yep.
It is the Gurumon egg. It's because it's the only one that works with a hero actually. So a little side bit of hero before we get started because I think everybody's confused. A lot of people got confused during the tournament about what this deck and how it's working together. All these archetypes are based on BT21. These are all of the main protagonists from every series in the Digimon anime, including App, which was introduced as this set. All of them do support their own archetypes respectively, but they all support an amalgamation called Hero, based off of the hero trait that they have on the bottom right next to all of their trait. Every card, every Digimon in this deck, except for one card, except for two cards, all contain the hero trait, which
Mm.
means they all work together in a weird way
Yeah.
that encompasses multiple different archetypes, and it just works together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Per se.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, yep, Greymon the only egg because it has zero, huh?
Yeah, Gurumon's the only deck because
Yep.
that's hero on it. Draw one is perfectly fine. The deck sometimes lacks a little bit of draw power, so there's extra draw is always what you need.
Mm.
We can go straight to the rookies actually.
Yep.
We'll start off with Vmon actually. Vmon, of course, you know very well from Magna Armor because it works so well with the effects that Magna Armor has. It also works with Hero.
Mm.
Uh, you can reduce distribution cost more with Tagru that we do play in this deck because it is the Hero Tamer and hero from the Globemon archetype, not the archetype itself, that really allows to gain memory and draw cards. So a lot of times we're filtering a lot in advantage and cycling. A lot of these cards do include hero in their text, hero in their trait, which allows for a lot of synergistic things that you would not usually expect off of these specific cards.
Yep.
Uh, Leading off to the Gumdramon and Gilmon, they both do the same thing, where on play pitch like a hero in this context and draw two. Of course, Gumdramon has on deletion save. The Gumdramon has the inheritable plus 2k, and the Gilmon is the on deletion gain of memory. Of course, you know that from the Gidramon and the Gumdramon from
Yep.
Hunters, respectively.
Mm.
This extra cycle is what you need. You need to dig digger and digger, dig deeper and deeper. I'm sorry,
Mm.
to find specific pieces to go do a full OTK turn. This deck is designed to OTK. I think that's the only way this deck can really win a lot of the time is like going fast and going very hard. And the amount of DP it does get, usually you can't really answer it that well with like the Digimon stacks. Um, Leading off to the last rookie that I played, I split it one by one just to show off the deck as it was played. Is Gachmon. The Gachmon, because we're playing the apps itself, we do need a lot of apps that can link, so we can activate effects when Digimon get linked. So Gachmon is a very useful card when for that because it's a hero. All the apps that we're playing are heroes, other than one card that you'll see later in the video. But the actual effect of Gachmon doesn't matter when it gets linked. We don't play any Haru in this deck. The raid barely even matters. You're honestly using it just because you get 2k and they can link. And it's a rookie that is a hero.
Okay.
We
Yeah, that
don't
makes sense.
we don't run any of the Agumon or the Gammamon that allow warping because we don't do anything like that.
Okay. Mm.
Um, Leading off to level fours, we have 11 level fours. We have Arrestor Dramon, Unimon, and Dogachmon. The reason I play 4/4 Arrestor and Goonie is because I think they're like the best cards in the deck, honestly.
Yeah.
uh, Arrestor, you know very well from Hunters, where it's another Shopmon King version. Just plays out a Hunter or Hero from your hand for free. Playing a free hero just like it does a lot for a deck. It's a lot of like cycling, a lot of advantage that you get. And then on deletion save doesn't really matter as much in this deck. It matters more in hunters, but in this deck, usually you're digivolving up on top of the arrestor, and using a specific card that you see in the list that you see later. The Gunimon, very much so, a very important card. It is a hybrid. Hybrids do matter a lot. Hybrid for your game is a very well established card. We do play
Yeah.
Takuya. Takuya does help this out a lot. The Wind Digivolving to add a hero underneath it uh, really does help out with effects that activate, like Haru, like Hero, the Gamma Tamer, not the archetype, um, to activate effects to draw more cards and gain more memory. And the wind attacking does help out a lot, Not so much for superior mode per se, but for something like Globemon that you'll see later, it works out very well because Globemon, we do pay the full 4 cost to evolve into it. So reducing it to 3 cost really does help out a lot with paying memory. Um, 3 Dogachmon, you never digivolve into it actually. It's actually used for an OTK setup. It is a hero also, so if you're forced to digivolve into it, you can. It does have rush and raid. The rush does matter sometimes if you do have like something like tie set up, and then you're able to like set up a game state where you just win with Dogach. That's it for level fours. The level fours also have most of them with inheritables do have plus 2k. Really does matter. You'll see later. Next up we have superior mode and Globemon. These are your main ways you're dealing all your opponent's security in one turn. These 2 cards really do a lot. As you know from Superior Mode and Hunters, it's a very powerful card. Having Raid, Piercing, when Digivolving, Swing Thought Suspending, and the +1 KDP for each source
Yep.
really works very well with
Yep.
how the deck works. Just extra DP is what this deck wants to do. Just be as big as possible, and you slap down a Fire Rocket on Superior Mode, and you're doing 2 checks, and then if you have the combo, it's game. Simple as
Yeah,
that.
yeah. The game one when you got me, I was like, what was it? I think you Goonied me into freaking like arrestor, and I was like, bro, what just
I
happened?
didn't. I think I went
Something like
Globe
that.
actually. Because Globe has
Was it?
the sex check +1.
Oh, I don't know. I just had no idea what was going on the whole time, and you just wrecked me out of nowhere. I
I
was like,
mean, I
okay.
figured it out midway through. I was like, oh, I can do this. So let's do it.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, it's
Superior
good.
Mode is it's the better of the two, I'd say, just because of the control aspect that it has. This deck does have an issue against like anything that floats a lot. So like Adventure, which is why Adventure is a pretty rough matchup for this deck. If this
Yeah.
deck doesn't go very fast,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's it actually. I think Adventure is probably this deck's worst matchup, which is very hilarious that they both use most of the same cards. Or they share some cards together, but that's what happens when you play a lot of deletion-based effects in the deck. Um, I felt more respect for was Globemon actually coming into today. I didn't think Globemon really did as much, but then doing more of it, I realized that it really worked a lot. The Wind Digivolving to Link a level 4 or lower from hand without paying cost really helped out a lot with its second effect that deletes a Digimon as soon as it gets linked with equal or less DP than it. It's always going to be bigger than your opponent's Digimon. Never doubt it's going to be bigger than your opponent's
Yeah,
Digimon. This
yeah, for sure.
Digimon is very big. I think the most I got to Digimon to was 23k by itself as a level 5.
Wow, that's insane. Damn.
Yeah, as a level 5. So let's keep that in mind. Um, and then it has and actually has security check +1, which really does matter because as you see in the list, we do run Fire Rocket, and sometimes you're not going to draw Fire Rocket. So
Yeah.
Globemon being a hero, sometimes Globemon having that security check +1 really does work. And if the Globemon stays on the board for an additional turn, that threatens lethal the next turn, just because it's still big on your opponent's on the next turn. And 2 more checks leads to 1 security, and leading to a Gaiamon, as you see in the list, it's just game. Um, Here's the level 6s are only cards that are not heroes, which don't matter. I'll be perfectly honest, because the top end does not matter about what happens. All these cards are red, so it really never mattered, actually. We played 1 Medieval. Medieval really helped out a lot. Just the control of it against decks like Imperial. It worked out a lot for me against Galaxy because Galaxy kept on trying to do some Invisimon plays. And then Medieval's on the board, and the Medieval was able to get rid of Invisi before Invisi activated.
Oh yeah,
So
that's nice. Dang, I didn't think about that, but yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, so I used to Digivolve into Medieval. I never actually played the Medieval. It's because like the deck's red, so it's able to Digivolve into it.
Oh, digivolving into medieval. Yeah, I guess I'm just so used to people just dropping it that I guess having the luxury of since your top end doesn't matter as much, you can have that type of like how do you say defense against decks like that.
Yeah, so the Wind Digivolving, yeah. The Wind Digivolving is activates actually on the Digivolve. And the alterns, if they play Digimon, the Wind Digivolving activates again. So you get
Yeah,
2 of
yep,
Medieval's effects that turn.
yep, yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, so it's very powerful, very powerful. I will not lie. And then, of course, Gaimon. People might say, why are you going Siriusmon, which is a hero, Shine Greymon, which is a hero. But Gaimon, you don't need Hero as a top end. It never mattered what you needed for your top end. Gaimon, it just helps out with a lot with OTK potential. Because of the when Digivolving, you may link one, and then the your turn effect, which matters more, is when it gets linked. By unsuspending it, you trap top card of your opponent's security. And then if you go by the Dogachmon, Dogachmon says when Dogachmon gets linked, we're able to go ahead and swing. So the combo is to link with Gaimon, uh, use Digimon Gaimon, link with Dogach, unsuspend, and then swing with unsuspend, trash top, and swing for game. So 4 trash top, swing for game. That's all. That's all 5 security, and you're just attacking your opponent.
Yeah, that's so disgusting.
And this deck doesn't require the Tamers to do that, but it does require a specific setup. Sometimes you're not gonna get there. Sometimes you realize you're on a Goonie and that Fire Rocket doesn't activate on a Goonie. But you can get there still, and it works very well. That's up for my Digimon actually. Let's just get to the options. Fire Rocket. This deck's OTK. You have a lot of multicolored Digimon in the deck. Mostly all your rookies are multicolored, so you can use Fire Rocket on your rookie, and then go up afterwards. Now, you know what Fire Rocket does. You know what his applications are. There's not much to describe Fire Rocket. Red Mem Boost and offense training. I feel like a 2-3 was pretty fine. There was not really much issues I had with Mem Boost and training. I think in hindsight, I'm gonna put like go up to 3 red members and 3 training just to get more memory than Digivolution reduction, because I already have a lot of Digivolution reduction in this deck. Leading on to my Tamers now. The Tamers are the last end of the deck. We have 9 Tamers here. Toguru is Toguru is the most important one, just because it reduces more Digivolution. Drawing one, gaining memory, sourcing cards. You're able to source your links to not, because the links are usually like dead cards in your hand. So throwing them away to get an extra memory, draw one, and later put them as sources to go ahead and link again is very good, because you're just getting rid of dead cards with Toguru essentially. And getting rid of dead cards is always good to draw into more cards in the future. Takuya, I play as a 1-of. Hindsight might put up to 2. It worked very well. Takuya just instantly at the start of main phase, instantly warping a Digimon for a reduced cost for each different red colored Tamer's names. So it does include Takuya itself. So usually if I had Takuya by itself on a board, Digivolve my rookie to level 4 for a cost of 1. If I had Toguru, it would be for 3. And then more and more. And then the Heritable that came out when I Digivolved to a Goonie, because you can Digivolve into a Goonie on top of this Takuya. We're using Takuya's effect. And then just checking security and then playing a red Tamer for free really helps out with unbreaking your hand with Tamers sometimes. Hero is the last red Tamer we play. Hero works very well with Toguru and Aguni a lot. It also gives a memory at start of main. Just extra cycle, extra draw, extra memory gain is very important in the deck. And because you see the time here, we have a memory setter. As you saw in the finals, Huang checked every single Tamer in my deck, and then I still lost, of course, but it was very funny. We were both absolutely shocked about it. And then the last card in the deck, of course, you see is the Secret Tai. Tai is a hero himself. More so the Tai was used for the first effect, is suspending it to draw a card. The second effect didn't come up as much, I'd say, in the deck. I think the extra cycle and draw just really helped out more with what the deck needs. It's just to dig deeper into the deck until you find the specific cards you need. It's a white Tamer, just make sure you know you can't play it off of Takuya at all.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty okay. I feel like a lot of these tamers do a great job. I mean, especially with like Tagiru and Tai, like you were saying, being able to cycle that drop power. I feel like drop power is something that like Red was always kind of missing. And now that I'm like going through this list with you, I'm just like, yeah, I can see how there's like a surprising amount of drop power in the deck itself.
Yeah, like
That with the rookie,
Globemon.
yeah, that with the rookie, exactly. That with the rookies, and then you even have the searchers. That seems like a very surprisingly consistent deck, more than I would have thought. But that
We're all surprised how consistent consistent the deck was. We did not
Yeah.
expect the
Yeah.
deck to be this consistent.
Yeah, I mean to go 9 rounds, undefeated, basic. Well, undefeated technically until ninth round. That's kind of insane. Not, what do you think about like the deck into the meta? Like I know you already touched on like adventure being like the worst matchup easily. I could see that for sure because you're kind of like swinging not too much protection. But what about into
This
like
deck is
other everything else?
Yeah, this deck has no protection at all.
Yeah,
This deck
yeah.
is very aggressive.
Mm,
Adventure being a very defensive deck can really answer it very well.
mm.
But I think Adventure is the only one that has the hardest counter because of Arcurge United, of course, being such a powerful card. But this deck is a very fast deck, so it can usually win very fast also. It can always pump out like different cards at different moments, and then you just don't know what's happening because there's so many different cards in this archetype. Um, Sakuya, I 202 Sakuyas. I was very surprised this matchup in Sakuya. People might think that this deck might have a rough time in Sakuya because of Ruin Mode.
Mm.
But then you realize that the amount of DP gaining effects that you have, in this future match you saw against Hot Hazy, uh, as you all saw, my Globemon swung for 15k underneath Ruin Mode,
Damn.
which is absolutely like so it was
Yeah.
20k base.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And Yeah, so you're able to realize that DP is very big. The tamers in the deck aren't really necessary, actually, if you think about it. They help out a lot, but they aren't really necessary. So I matched in a Galactic, and then it didn't really. I feel like I wasn't that pressured against Galactic, which I was very surprised about, because I just kept on punching, so to say, just punched their face and pressure them off of high DP. Galactic needs to keep on protecting itself because it needs to set up double Sunamon to even like have viability
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do
that
it.
makes
And that
sense.
means you're sacrificing other cards for that.
Yeah.
Um, what else? Megidra is it's a dice roll. We're both trying to kill each other as fast as possible. So whoever gets the combo first wins. Really, that's what
Yeah.
I say. Megidra's more consistent, but I will say, but this deck just because of how much it can do in like one turn, where it can just like in one turn like do all the security. Like Megidra can do the same thing too. But Megidra to do that needs a higher roll than this deck needs to do.
Yeah,
I
that
would
makes
say
sense.
because it needs the trash to be built up.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you just like see all your pieces, you can just obliterate in like turn two with this.
In our match, when we played, you realize I didn't have a trash half the time
Yeah, 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 for sure.
because all my cards kept on like staying on the board, and then they're like existing in different areas constantly.
Yep, yep,
So you kept on having to count your own trash to build to count the number.
yep.
Um, Imperial, I mean, they need a setup. Just swing at them fast. But against Digishon, he was playing DNA Magna. He couldn't set up. He couldn't set up fast enough. I just killed him by I think turn 3 or turn 4. It was just super fast. I killed him
Yeah, yeah.
and with him.
That's tough. I bet Superior's like really good in that matchup too, right?
Superior, I didn't really. Superior really helped out a lot. Yes, because I was able to swing over the partition stack a lot.
Uh,
And also because my sources, I have more sources than Hexablout. It didn't really matter.
yeah.
And Hexablout can't stop Superior Mode because Superior Mode doesn't suspend the swing
Right.
on
Yeah.
Digimon. So
Yeah.
Hexablout can never stop that attack.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Um,
Now for people who like want to know like the full combo, I know you kind of touched on it a little bit. So like a full like ideal one shot O2K combo, like what is it?
sure. You push up. You have like I think one tamer at least on board start of turn. Push up the you're on Arrestor Dramon. Or you use Fire Rocket on it. You Digivolve up into Arrestor Dramon Superior Mode, keeping turn. On Digivolve, you swing 2 checks. You have a Dogotch underneath or in your hand, ideally also. So
Mm,
2 checks is Superior Mode, and then swing again, 2 checks is Superior Mode. Then you Digivolve with the Gaimon for 5.
yep.
And then effective Gaimon, you link Dogotch underneath Gaia. Then with the effective Gaia, you unsuspend Gaia, Trust off her security, and Dogotch effect. You swing for game.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
And you say how big
Yeah.
Superior Mode is. I tell my opponents it's too big for you to count.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Too big for anything to matter in security.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 no, for sure. Yeah, well, damn, that was nasty, man. Another successful birthday weekend for you.
Oh yeah, of
It's
course.
a shame you couldn't take it at the end there, but happy for Huang to pull off the epic win with Adventure as well. Shout out to Huang Zero, and
No, I mean,
their squad. You guys were a really fun group to talk to and
oh yeah,
hang out
they
with.
were a
So
blast to talk to. They were amazing to speak with.
yeah,
Congrats to Huang and Momin,
yep,
Doc for getting first and second respectively.
yep,
Shout out to our crew, of course. We did pretty well.
yep.
We had a blast there, even though we were only there for 2 days. Shout out to everybody we met. It was fun being there over the weekend. Ah,
Yep.
um,
Yep, for
you got
sure.
fourth place. Yeah, you
Yes.
got fourth place.
Yes.
Congrats to you,
I
Sean.
got for yep. I was a meta scum playing Digimon, so but
Hey, that was coming soon.
yeah, but this video isn't about me, it's about you. So congratulations. Once again, thank you for your time, man. Really appreciate it every time you come out onto the channel here.
Oh yeah,
Uh
no problem.
and congrats again on the Heroes top.
Yeah, no, thank you. I might play it more actually now.
Yeah, yeah.
First time playing it, so I'm surprised by the result.
But I hate you. No, anyways, thanks for your time, man. Peace out.
Peace out.